All right, we'll go ahead and start the December 10th Planning and Zoning meeting. First item is to approve the November meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Well,
Terry can have it.
All in
Aye.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain. I was
Abstain?
not at that meeting.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, they pass.
all right. Next item will be the staff report. Jack, what you got?
I'll try to keep it brief. Since our last meeting, we've had 64 new permits issued down at Fairview Crossing for 8 buildings on their townhomes. We've issued the Nottaway Valley Bank permit, but no work started there. Work is underway at the daycare expansion at the major mall. You just can't see it because it's behind it. Work has started on the strip center just west of the post office. And groundbreaking on Clay Creek Meadows Phase 1 and Phase 2 and 3. The groundwork is already going on. It started a week ago. So we've got stuff going on from north to south. I think that's all. If there's any other questions, I'll try to answer them.
All right, does anyone have any questions for Jack? All right, we'll go ahead and move to a public hearing for the rezoning of 16,000 North 169 Highway. We just need to open that public hearing.
Mhm.
All right, it's now open. Jack, would you like to offer some evidence first?
Yes, I will start. I propose the staff report that's in your application or in the packet. And the proposed findings and fact and conclusions of law document be the documents for, or the evidence that's associated with this proposal. If you may recall, you may not, some of you certainly won't because you weren't here at the time a year ago. This is the property at Cliff Drive in 169 that was zoned B2, that the applicant came in to have it zoned R3 because they had a project lined up and ready to go or hoping to go. And that ultimately didn't pencil or didn't occur. So they want to restore it to its original B2 zoning. And it'll be back on the market again for B2 uses in the future.
Do we have any public?
Yep, Mark or Kelly Wade. Okay, so the one on 92 Highway. Okay.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? All right, we'll close this public hearing. We move on to rezoning 16,000 North 169 Highway from R3 to B2. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we'll go to the discussion. Jack, anything you'd like to add on this?
No, and I would refer you all back to the findings of fact draft document. If that's acceptable, you guys can certainly adopt it as your findings of fact. If any of the first 8 items are problematic for any of you, you want to discuss them separately or you want to amend them, now would be the time to go through that process to amend them. And then if there are amendments, once they're amended, then you vote on the recommendation of adopting the findings of fact and sending it to the board one way or the other. I think that answers them all.
All right, does anyone have any questions? Any public comment? Okay, we vote.
All right, Mayor Boley,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
Wallace,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Chevalier,
Aye.
6-0.
This matter will be at the next week's Board of Aldermen meeting for first reading for the ordinance itself. Same time, same place. just next week, 7 PM next week.
All right, moving on. The next item is a public hearing for the rezoning 800 Northwest 92 Highway from A1 to B3. At this time, the public hearing is now open. Jack, would you like to offer evidence?
Yes, again, the staff report and the proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law document would be the evidence we'd submit. They cover the issues associated with the 8 items in the findings you need to make. You will see there are 9 numbers in your findings, but the 9th one is that everything discussed at this public hearing was taken into account when you ultimately vote on it. The issues on this one, just to clarify, the property to the east is Zone B3 and undeveloped. Sits up on that hill where the curve is around 92 there. Years ago, it used to have some kind of a truck repair place up there, years and years ago in the 80s. And then to the west, down the creek, on the other side of the creek there, second creek, excuse me, is county land that is zoned County C2 or 3. I've got it in here. So it's an agricultural parcel sitting between 2 commercial parcels with County C2 or 3, the other one sitting across the road at the Green Farm property. So it's kind of surrounded by commercial, except for to the north. It's all ag to the north. That's all I have.
All right, and I think Mark, you had something?
Yeah, I guess the question.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to come up here
What?
and state your name and address, please.
My name's Mark Wade, 15515 Cliff Drive. I guess my question is, what is being planned B3 from ag on 35 acres? I mean, is it commercial development or, I mean, I've got a budding property to the north. And just curious on what is gonna be on 35 acres of B3 property, commercial.
They have not given us a plan of what they're going to do. They've mentioned an RV park and potentially storage. But that would have to come through this board later to even get approved.
I guess we don't know what it's gonna be officially. So is there another hearing to approve the RV park? Or
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, if there's going to be an RV park or if they wanted to try and put a Walmart or whatever else there, they'd have to come before this board with another application.
I mean, that's my curiosity as being an adjacent neighbor there.
Sure, sure.
From commercial development.
Yeah, and if they ever decide to do something, then yeah, you'll get notices again to let you know what's kind of going on.
Yeah, if they're changing zoning, if they want to plat it, any of that kind of stuff, you guys will get a certified letter.
All right, I guess that was our concern.
Sure.
All right, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Sorry, I don't know if this was asked. Hi,
All right, can you please state your name and address for the record? Thank you.
Tamara Anderson, 1001 Northwest State Route 92, Smithville, Missouri 64089. Regarding the 35.5 acre lot, has there been any like MoDOT traffic surveys or concerns regarding that?
Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, but they wouldn't worry about that until they actually had a plan, a site plan, a building plan or something like that. So
Right.
if it's just as rezoning, that's not something that we would
And the
consider.
reason I bring that up is because right across from us is, the last time I was at a meeting like this was in Liberty, and it was regarding zoning another property to become commercial, and that traffic that has increased over there is not bad. But it's definitely way, way higher, which is understandable. It is a business, which is great for them. But with 2 businesses right there, with the amount of accidents and issues that are already occurring in that area, that would be my very large concern.
Yeah, and
As well as if that was the case, a 3rd lane, where would that go?
Yeah.
So,
And definitely once we see those plans, to make sure, review them and if you have concerns, please come to us and let us know.
And to further clarify, any business that wants to have access onto a state highway has to go through not only the city, traffic program to get a study. They have to go through MoDOT as well. MoDOT ultimately has final say. We usually act as a conduit to put it into an agreement so that it happens.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Do we have any other folks willing to speak? All right, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing.
I do have a question for Jack. You know, we sent proper, letters to the property owners. Did anybody respond in written form besides here?
Nope. We have no written responses on any of the items today.
And typically if we do, they will be in the packet.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item, to rezone 800 Northwest 92 Highway from A1 to B3. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right,
Beat Rob this time. He's been on it tonight.
Jack, did you have anything to add further?
Before we're on that vote. Yeah, no, if you guys have questions, I'll try to answer them. But the staff report and the proposed findings of fact, same thing as before. If you are fine with this draft version, you can vote on that to approve it. If you want to change any or all of those items, you certainly can. You just need to make a motion to amend number 2 or whatever and go through that process each time. If not, you can approve it as is. It would go to the board with your recommendation, and these would be your findings if you don't make any changes.
Do we have for public comment for this? All right, is there any discussion from the commission?
I have more of a general question. How often do you see someone request to rezone and have plans or an idea of what they're going to do with that before it gets rezoned?
70 or 80% of the time, because they're doing it because they want to put in a project. Sometimes they don't. Usually it's on the busiest roads. They want to
Gotcha.
get it zoned so that they can put it out for somebody to buy or to market that way. It's more marketable if it's commercial. From our perspective, we only look at this from a standard zoning situation. Doesn't matter what the use is, all of them are all the uses available in B3 would be allowed. The question really becomes, is this appropriate for commercial zoning?
I think kind of with the, most of the surrounding areas with this type, it's kind of seems to me it would be appropriate, so.
Yeah, southeast and west are all commercial.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, let's vote.
Okay, Rob,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Chevalier,
Aye.
Wallace,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Mayor Boley,
Aye.
6-0.
Jack, that'll be next.
Yes, same thing. Next Tuesday night, 7 PM, the board meeting, this will be on for first reading. It will be in an ordinance form to clarify as well. All ordinances must be read 2 times. And unless it is made an emergency, they happen at 2 separate meetings. So it'll go to the board next week. If it's passed with approval by the board next week, it would go on the January, whatever it takes. January 7th meeting for its second reading. Same vote would have to occur there.
All right, moving on. Next item will be the public hearing to amend Eagle Heights conceptual plan to Lakeside Farms conceptual plan. At this time, we'll go ahead and open the hearing. Jack, what kind of evidence you got for us today?
Sure. Excuse me. Again, I would submit the staff report on this matter. I also have provided you with the draft ordinance. The ordinance isn't really of any significance from your standpoint. That goes to the board, but it has the language that would be proposed. Currently, to clarify a few points, currently, the conceptual plan zone districts here are R1P and R2P. This proposal shrinks the area of the R2 and expands the area of the R1, keeping the P designation. The original version came in 2018, prior to the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan made recommendations to change various lot sizes. So when that went through in 2021, that would make the proposal in this scenario with the lot sizes being for the single family being 55 feet wide or 56 feet wide. It's certainly within the parameters of the new zoning options available for single family. We have 50, 60, 75, and 100 are the minimum lot widths. So certainly fits in those, which wouldn't happen in the previous one. And as a result of those other changes, we've made some other changes in our R2 districts as well. You may recall, some of you may recall, excuse me. Those also allow some adjustments to the density in this entire development. The 2018 version was 232 total units of R1 and R2. This one goes up to 289. 44, I think it's 44 duplex lots on what used to be State Highway F, which is now Eagle Parkway, and they're all in the front. And then in the back and north would be where the single family would go. And I think that's all that associated with the conceptual plan zoning. And again, it's the procedures to get here are the same as a rezoning, but the rules are in the staff report, and those are the guidelines for review, starting at 400, 200 B3 and goes through. That's staff's evaluation of those items. Specifically, I would also specifically state under G on second to last page, we've added in all of the comprehensive plan items that this one addresses. When we're changing, make a significant change to an area, staff feels it's important to add those things in so you understand what of the action items under the comprehensive plan are being impacted here. So that's all I have for the staff or this part.
Anyone would like to address the commission? Okay, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing.
He'll be right back.
Okay. All right, we'll just wait a few seconds here.
Sorry about that. Just got so dry I couldn't talk.
No problem. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item to amend conceptual plan, Deal Heights. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Jackie, anything else to add to this?
Nope, same thing.
Okay. And do we have any public comment? All right,
I
and
do have a question.
Sure.
In both the preliminary plat and the conceptual plan, in the writing on there, it says in phase 1, 26 two-family homes and 10 single-family lots. But in the table, it says 26 and 8.
Yeah. It would be 26 and 8 because when we get to the stuff, the next phase, it will be capped at 60 in the first phase because after 60, it has to do the MoDOT work.
Those 8 single family, where are they located on this?
They will be at the south strip. Comes over to about here. I can't, it's black and white. And I've got bad eyes, so I can't see the lot number, but I think it ends at lot 34 on the south side. So it would be the street coming down where it says phase 1, 2-family.
And the single-family homes would,
They would start at lot 27 through 34,
okay, thank you.
and then lots 1 through 27 or 28, no, 1 through 26, excuse me,
Yeah.
are the 2 families, yes.
Very good. One other question, it says here that there are gonna be significant improvements. MoDOT has requested a new turn signal.
Yes.
All these costs are gonna be borne by the developer.
Yes.
I have a question for the developer. On your single-family homes here, there've been a lot of discussions here at the city about future developments being senior-friendly, like for those who wanted to downsize. So would your house plans here incorporate that in for seniors of,
Good evening, Steve Warder, 6127 Northwest Pine Ridge Circle, Parkville, Missouri, 64152. I'm the engineer on the project. We have the lot sizes or the smaller lot sizes. We aren't really designating an area for a plus 55, but it will be pretty much what you would see in some of the plus 55 areas when they're downsizing. But yes, this would be a downsize from a lot of the houses.
so when they're downsizing, like some of the seniors, is it being considered, I guess, to have like 0 thresholds and stuff like that in some of the homes that are more readily available, accessible to someone in a wheelchair or
If there was
walker or something like that?
requirement,
Uh-huh.
we could work with them on that.
Okay,
But initially, building the homes, no, but typically, you can get there. The biggest thing a lot of times is some of your doorway entrances.
Right.
They have to be adjusted if you're going in there, and it's probably, in most cases, you can get there. These might be a little tight, but we could figure out that if
Okay.
someone came in
If
and
somebody-
said, hey, I need handicap accessibility.
Okay.
We definitely would work with them.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Didn't they do some of those at Eagle Ridge? Like, yeah,
Uh,
I think you've done it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, the terminology is universal design. It's a term of the industry, just to clarify. Everything you mentioned is 100% universal design related, so
Well,
I just,
I couldn't think of the word,
Yeah.
so thank you. But I'm glad to hear that that's happening. So thank you.
I'd like to just, it's not really common. I just want to point out that, just in looking at all the, how this works with the comprehensive plan. I mean, this is like one of the few projects that we see where we have there's a lot.
Mhm.
This thing touches a lot of key items with that comprehensive plan. So I think that's going to be great for folks here. So are there any other comments? Go vote.
Okay. Wallace,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Mayor Boley.
Aye.
Chevalier.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Rob,
Aye.
6-0.
this matter is an ordinance. It will go to the board next week for first reading, just like all the other ones we've discussed.
Okay, next item will be the public. Wait, we already done that, right?
We have another one.
Oh, another
You
one.
do have another one.
Oh, boy.
Preliminary plat,
Okay,
number,
Mhm.
yeah, number
Did-
10.
public
Did we
hearing
do-
for the preliminary plat for Lakeside Farms. We'll go ahead and, this public hearing is now open. Jack?
Yes.
Evidence, please.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm making sure I get the right documents in front of me. Again, I would submit to you for evidence in this. In the packet, there is a RFA document with a guidelines for review document that follows it, that has all of the standards that you are to evaluate. Using those as the guide, you have a staff report document that we prepared that addresses those same items. As in the RFA that lays out what they are. And in addition, we've attached the proposed development agreement, the final version of which is subject to board approval, the Board of Aldermen approval, and they can add or change that as they see fit. This is the one that staff has proposed that will ultimately go there. The purpose of the development agreement is to address all of the issues that are brought forth related to the development itself, primarily related to street, storm, sanitary, and water. And as you can see in the staff report, the primary evaluations that we had to go through here were with the sanitary. Lot of changes to the general area, to the sanitary sewer. We're going to be, instead of adding a new lift station, we're going to be deleting one and adding one. So we stay the same on the total number. This project will also be involved in starting the first interceptor on the Owens Branch interceptor line, which runs up from the plant all the way up to 180, north side of 188th Street. This will be part of it, will be included in this project. It will also act as their underground storage for the sanitary. And also there are significant proposals related to the parks that are contained in the staff report that are important. I think as you go through those items, you'll see in the development agreement, the proposal will be dedicating to the city as parkland, 1 acre off of the northeast corner of the development that will be able to be added to the existing park that's just north of it, the Wildflower Park. So it'll go from 7.6 to 8.6 acres. It'll also be provide access across from the existing Neff driveway that goes to the east. There will be the ability to put a driveway in on that side to have parking available for Wildflower Park in the future as well. It also includes a trail as a part of the parkland dedication stuff that extend the trail on this development's property all the way through the Wildflower property, all the way to 188th. As a part of that, all that is identified in the development agreement as well. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, well, that's not to me.
The trail that you're talking about.
Yeah.
How does it go from this new development up to 188?
Along the road.
Not 100, but
Yeah.
up to Wildflower.
Yes.
Diamond Crest.
Well, it doesn't go to Diamond Crest. It goes to Wildflower. If I said Diamond Crest, I apologize. It's part of a, okay. Well, it's part of the Parks Master Plan of the city to have a trail that connects 188th Street and eventually over to the county park further east, all the way down to 180th Street. And the city's in the process now of getting grant funding to do some of that work, probably in 5 to 8 years down the road. But it will be a connective scenario. So
You're not talking about extending the path of the riding trail up through Diamond Crest to the easement where the railroad easement was?
no. Well, that one's on a completely different project. This one's half a mile, 3/4 mile south of all that.
Sir,
Sure.
can you state your name and your address just for our record? Thank you.
Slocum 18990 Trading.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any other comments? Information? All right, we'll go ahead and close that public hearing. Next item is to approve the preliminary plat for Lakeside Farms. Do I have a motion to approve that plat?
So moves.
Second.
All right, Jack, I don't think you have anything else to talk about?
Now, if there are questions about any of the specifics in the development agreement, I know it's a big, long thing, and it bounces around. I can certainly try to answer those questions. If you have questions of more related to the actual development, timing, et cetera, the developer and his engineer are here as well.
I have another question, Jack. In reading through imagine that, through the agreement. Back here, we were talking about like the sanitary sewers. And where that phase 3, that Inceptor is not anticipated to be needed for more than 20 years of the development in the north. What happens if that's needed in 15 years?
This portion has to have all the stuff south of it to get to it to become a true interceptor.
Okay,
So phase 1 has 3 segments, and that gets us to middle of Coulter Edition, which is the first segment of phase 1 is the part that we're hoping to do next year or a year and a half,
okay,
which takes it from the plant to KK. And then there are 2 more segments that get it up to the middle of Coulter Edition along that creek to get both the the Rocky Branch line and Rock Creek line that meet down there. All into one. No, I take that back. Harborview and Rocky Point. So the one that goes all the way north that all the subdivisions up north are on, and there's a line that comes from Harborview and Grayhawk that meet. The first phase takes it up to that point of the interceptor. That's 36-inch pipe. I think it may go all the way down to 30 when they get to there. This pipe would only be 18 because it's so much farther north.
so I pee on here. I don't know how that answers my question on 15 years versus 20 years anticipated to be needed.
If development goes blazing
Uh-huh,
and it works its way up, ultimately, that interceptor will have to go up and grab the south end of this.
okay,
And once it does, then everything from Wildflower South will go through there.
okay,
Yeah, then
And it'll all be gravity with no more pumps.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gets us
Sure.
there faster if that development
Yeah.
comes,
Yes.
but
Right.
But yeah,
otherwise we're paying for it.
and that's why there was a range in it. I mean, it could be 40 years if development goes slow. We just don't know. But we need to be, from our perspective as staff, we need to be prepared that if it goes faster, we can still get some of this stuff done.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? All right, let's vote.
All right, Rob,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Chevalier.
Aye.
Mayor Boley,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Wallace,
Aye.
6-0.
This item will be approved via a resolution. It will not be on the next board meeting because it has to follow a second reading of the ordinance prior to it, and that ordinance must pass. If that ordinance doesn't pass, this can't go through. So we're waiting for the ordinance stuff to go through. This resolution for this particular preliminary plat version, January 7th. It'll be on the agenda following the second reading. If that makes everything clear.
All right. Next item is to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
See you all next year.
Phase one Owens Branch, when we did the master plan, was 6.5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I